Welcome to the Explore More podcast with HWY34 RV, your locally owned RV sales and service center located just off I-25 and Highway 34 in Windsor, Colorado. We're talking about everything from our favorite camping gear to how to service your RV so you can explore more wherever the road may take you.
Hi, my name is Kerrie, and I'm here with Jordan, and we're with HWY34 RV, an RV sales and service center located in Windsor, Colorado. This month, we hosted a free RV winterization class for customers in the community, and we wanted to share some of the top mistakes that our service technicians pointed out during the class.
Yeah, it was really cool to see our service techs engage with their customers, and they even offered to let customers watch them winterize their own particular RV because all models of our RVs are different, and they were willing to work with their customers to teach them how to service their own RV.
Yeah, so if you're a HWY34 RV customer and you're not sure about winterizing your own RV by yourself, you can always call to schedule a winterization and let them know you want to sit in on the process. They'll actually let you observe their technicians, so you can potentially do it yourself next year if you're not super comfortable doing it yourself this year.
Yeah.
So we'll get a little bit into our own backgrounds as campers. I personally have always been a fifth wheel girl. I'm usually camping with ATVs, razors, side-by-sides, but I've never actually winterized any of our campers or trailers by myself because I've always been too afraid of missing something and then having to deal with it in the following year.
Yeah, and as a tent camper myself, winterizing to me just means adding more wool blankets. Like, I don't know what winterizing an RV is, but basically I learned a lot, and it's all about drying out all of your tubes and tanks to really prevent damages from freezing temperatures. That's the main thing.
Yeah, the service techs at HWY34, Matt and Greg, did a really good job at breaking down the winterization process, and so Jordan and I figured we would share some of the common mistakes made when winterizing your RV at home.
One of the big mistakes people make when they winterize their RV at home is pouring antifreeze into their fresh water tank. If you do this, the antifreeze will get into your drinking supply and it'll taste really funky the next season when you're ready to get out there again. So basically, the goal is to push water out of the system, not to fill everything with antifreeze. And this is why it's really important to always set your valves in the right direction. Your goal is to have the antifreeze bypass your fresh water tank, and if throughout the process, if you find it's running out really quickly, then it's likely that antifreeze is dumping into your fresh water tank, which is bad.
Yeah, it's not going to taste very good.
It's not going to taste good.
Another thing to remember is forgetting to add antifreeze into your P-traps. So basically when you're winterizing your sinks, P-traps are plumbing fixtures. They trap the debris that's been washed from the sink. It prevents from clogging your plumbing system, but it also stops the sewer gases from smelling really bad inside of your RV, which is typically a pretty small space, so you want to make sure that it's smelling as good as possible, especially if you're camping with smelly men. But if your P-trap has water in it throughout the winter, you can end up with breakage. So just like the rest of your sink lines and everything, you want to make sure that you're winterizing your P-traps as well.
Absolutely. And so another issue that people kind of run into is failing to completely drain the hot water tank. Why do we drain the water? Because when it freezes, it will cause cracks, and that will mean that you have to pay for costly repairs in the spring. Some RV experts even recommend draining your hot water tank every time you're done camping, if you're going to let the RV sit for more than 2 weeks before your next trip. If you let water sit in the hot water heater tank for too long, it can start to smell like sulfur. Again, no one wants a smelly RV.
No. Another potential mistake is failing to properly store your batteries. So it's always recommended to completely remove all of the batteries during a really harsh winter, fully charge them before storing them in a clean, dry location in a warm shed or garage. But there are a couple of things that you need to keep in mind. One would be never put them on concrete. So store them on wood surfaces in garages or storage facilities. And ideally trickle charge batteries or charge them monthly. So you want to make sure that you are extending the lifespan of those batteries. And a trickle charger is a battery charger that basically delivers a very low voltage over time. That means the battery will be charged slowly over a period of time and won't be overcharged. If your batteries are bulging, the battery is bad, so you're going to probably have to replace them.
And so our last common mistake is forgetting the outside shower. This can cause damage from freezing. Basically, anything not drained risks damage, and often the outside shower is forgotten because it's on the outside of the vehicle. So you really have to remember to hit every single faucet. During the class, someone even brought up, do you have to drain out your ice maker? And Matt, our service tech, agreed that that's the best practice. If it holds water, you should drain it, because anything could potentially freeze and cause damage. And also right next to the outside shower is your city water port, and so you should definitely check that because you don't want those valves to bust and for you to again have costly damage in the spring. One fun thing about this class is that it was very collaborative, and some of the customers joined in and even like shared tips and tricks. And one of my favorite is, during the winter, some critters can find a home in your RV and you can get mice and bugs. But one of the guys that joined the class suggested lining the floor of your RV with dryer sheets, and that would repel the mice and the bugs, which I found pretty interesting. And then he also mentioned that the way that they're getting in there is they're crawling up your tires. So if you shove mothballs in and around your tires, then that will also repel the mice, and you won't have some nasty critters making a home in your RV throughout the winter.
Yeah, I've never thought about buying mothballs before, but apparently you can do that. And then another one, not super intuitive because antifreeze is literally called antifreeze, but it is actually possible for antifreeze to freeze. And so especially with how cold it got last year and how cold it's been getting in states that aren't typically as cold as some of the colder states, we are seeing things freeze even if they've been treated. So the grade of RV antifreeze indicates the temp where liquid will become frozen and expand, causing pipes to burst. So pay attention to the temperatures that are listed on your RV antifreeze that you purchase. And if it's going to be extremely cold outside, if we're gonna see, negative 50 degrees, then it's always a good idea to park that RV inside.
Yeah. And basically, winterizing your RV, you just want to push out all that water. So the antifreeze will push out the water from the pipes or the tubes, and then you want to also drain out that antifreeze because it can freeze.
So what to do if you're stuck? First of all, clearly Jordan and I are not service technicians. We're just here to help share some of this information that was provided to us at the winterization class, but it's really important to do things correctly. So if you're stuck or you're unsure, we really recommend contacting an RV service specialist. Highway 34 RV offers winterization services and will walk you through the process so that you have the knowledge to care in the future. Matt and Greg and Terry at Highway 34 RV are awesome. They'll answer any questions that you have. And, if you're like me, you're probably going to still get your RV winterized. And if not, hopefully you learned something new.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool. If I owned an RV, I would love to pay for winterization one year and try to learn it myself and see if I could do it again the next year. Although I will say probably some pretty expensive mistakes if you don't do it right.
Or even try it and then still pay somebody to winterize it when you're done.
So you can learn more about Highway 34 RV, this podcast, or find more about winterization online at HWY34RV.com. That's HWY34RV.com.